You don't know the universe because you don't know God, because you don't know yourself. Look at the sperm. There is intelligence in the sperm. It knows exactly what it wants to do. It goes straight for the egg. That is intelligence. The sperm does not have a brain, but it has a head and a tail. When the sperm makes contact, it's the first cell of life. That cell starts looking for a firm resting place. Then it builds a clot. There is intelligence in the clot. Then the cells produce brain. Without a head, you don't need arms. The brain is the first thing formed. The thing that is going to direct the arms has to be first. It is the head that calls the arms and feet into existence. This is why the white man works to destroy your leaders. Without a head, you cannot call a body into existence. This is why you are always without organization. You never have leadership. Your leadership comes up, and when they spot it as good leadership, they wipe it out. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that God had to develop brain in order to think through darkness. It took pain and eons of time for God to build himself up in the darkness. He was the light of himself and had light in himself. Since the basis of his life is electricity, he had light in himself for his own brain. From his own brain, he envisioned the sun and then called it into existence. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, Allah formed himself not from a mother, but out of the dark womb of space. Space and the darkness of it became his womb. And he came out of that darkness. Then the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, before there was sun, there was a woman. Allah came out of the womb of darkness with a womb within himself. Every man has a woman in him. If you notice, the male has X and Y chromosome, which has male and female part. The female has X chromosome. As Allah came out of that womb, the Holy Quran calls it triple darkness. He had a womb within himself. He studied himself, and from himself, he fashioned woman. She is his first act of creation. The woman is made after the womb, out of which God created himself, and in the woman is the secret of God. The universe, all praise is due to Allah. All of this is from Minister Farrakhan, just a few paragraphs. Now here is where we drop the bomb on Stephen Hawking.
All right, peace and blessings. Welcome to another episode of Do Knowledge Radio, place where knowledge is born. This is your host, Knowledge Born Alive. We're here with a special guest by special request. Okay. Now look, to and fro, up and down in the earth of one I could bring here, who is doing the work of healing, arduously doing the work of healing on self. One of our mothers of civilization, and we started with the ancestral warrior spirit. I want y'all to know what come outside of Ohio, okay? Don't get Ohio twisted, okay? Ohio ain't not even one iota of a twist, okay? So we wanted to start in that spirit of one who was on fire for Allah and one who continues to be on fire for Allah from that realm to this realm. And we see one of these divine representatives of our nation in our midst here. So it becomes my honor and privilege at this time to introduce some, present to others, one who is phenomenal, one who is sparking, and one who is continuing to push the healing modalities to our people, whether we like it or not, but we need it. Okay, so let's give it up for healing with Angelica's own Angelica X, our gift from Allah. Peace and blessings to you, my sister. How
Yes.
you feeling? How you feeling?
Wow. Peace to the God. Assalamu alaikum, my brother. It is
Walaikum assalam.
an honor to be back on the show again. Like, you what? I've been on here like a couple times, so I'm glad.
Hey,
Listen,
hey, hey,
got
hey.
end up making me a regular.
Yes, I would love that. I would love
Yeah.
that. We need it. We need it. We need
So
it.
praise
We
be
need
to
it.
Allah. I'm grateful. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to hop on your platform to discuss healing and also my event that's coming up. And I just
Yes,
want to say shout out to you for playing. You got that clip of Sister Ava. May Allah be pleased. As a beautiful way to tap into today's conversation. So yeah.
so before we get to the event, this podcast that you have, okay, I didn't get a chance to properly intro. I was just so enamored in the zone. You understand what I'm saying? This Healing with Angelica podcast is the truth. Okay, that's TRUF, not the TH, TRUF. Okay, so tell us about it, and you have some kind of magical wand or something like that. Because I see some folks over there. I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. And every single one of the guests that I saw, going back in the archives, have been phenomenal. Regardless to their station in life, their offerings, their knowledge base, in their straightforwardness. Okay, well, look. Okay, they gonna make it plain over there. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, tell us about the podcast and tell the folks where they can find it and some of the people had lately. Okay, so I'm saying do a little bit of that right there.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, like my brother said, I have a podcast called Healing with Angelica. I started this podcast a little over going on 2.5 years now. The podcast is centered around those who are ready to start their healing journey and also need that boost, that push to get started. So we talk about all things healing, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, because when you think about healing to me is just a way to I want to say, resurrect our minds in a different perspective when it comes to our perspective of healing, our perspective of wealth, our perspective of our physical healing. So it's allowing us to redirect a new paradigm, a new perspective of what healing is by giving truth to healing and being able to actually talk about the things that happens in that process of healing. So including me having that as the initial start of what Healing with Angelica is, we also bring educational content. So I have lovely brothers that come on there. I had brother Wesley. He actually came on when I first got started. Inshallah, I hope we have him back again. Brother Wesley, brother Nuri. I just did one recently with brother Riza Islam. Coming in, just bringing the real hardcore facts of things that are needed to be discussed. So, and yeah, I love it. It's been a great opportunity to meet and dialogue with other people that is like minded and also allow others to have a space to share their healing journey and things that they've been through because I realized as I've been on my healing journey I benefited a lot from hearing from others to other people testimonies and trials and things that they went through and how they got through it. That actually that actually kind of started me on my healing journey. Shout out to Dr. Akili Muhammad. He kind of started me on, not kind of, he did. He helped me navigate my healing journey when I was going through my health problem after having my son. And I was binge watching all of his Facebook uh, lives, and like just within that, no, it wasn't called podcast at the time because we just now getting really into the podcast world, but you can consider his lives like a podcast. And that it was so informational to me that, you know, he allowed me to he opened up the door for me to be able to reach out to him and help me on my healing journey. So yeah, that's all in that. And you can find Healing with Angelica on Facebook. We go live on Facebook on my personal page, Angelica X Musalima, and on my YouTube page, Healing with Angelica.
Phenomenal podcast, phenomenal guest, phenomenal subject matter. It's transformative because we hear a lot of things associated with the narrative of being black in America. So it's very refreshing to see us in an intellectual space, and not just an intellectual space in word, but in deed, in action. You know, the kinds of programming and improper propaganda campaigns we see that don't really speak to those who are living a righteous life. And
Mm-hmm.
we understand this by design, but we have a counterbalance in broadcasts like yours to be able to show these other aspects and, you know, be a plain warner space for those who are looking, because we live in a day and time where people are looking. So these things
Mm-hmm.
are cyclic. They go from a time where folks are seeking knowledge to they're seeking ignorance, from knowledge to ignorance, from knowledge to ignorance. And moving out of that ignorant space, folks want to come into the light of themselves. So who better and who greater and who more qualified to be able to usher them back into the light of themselves. So I think that's a brilliant move.
Praise be to
And
Allah.
it may not be
Yeah.
as fruitful as you want it to be all the time, but it's necessary. You know, when the books are open and those were written, look at those deeds. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Those deeds are for all time, not just for a season. Some of this ignorant stuff is for a season, but these things that are done righteously are done for all time. So how you
Absolutely.
feel about, you know, what you're doing and what you've been doing, and let's get into the backstory if we could surrounding this first event, and, you know, give us, you know, share what you can about it.
Well, yeah. So, I would say the backstory just with Healing with Angelica just came from just, you know, my journey and things that I went through in life as I was also in transitioning to knowing who I truly am. Within that process, I found Islam and I joined the Nation of Islam October 2nd of 2022. So in my mind, I got 222. So I joined in October of 2022, in which I was studying the nation probably 3 years ahead of that, but was still contemplating with actually joining because I knew once you join us, listen, you got to change your ways now. So once I did that, that's when I was able to kind of really understand life and embark on my healing journey on a personal level because I knew who I was. I was able to have the tools to be able to physically heal myself. That's where Dr. Akili came in and we talked about how to eat to live. And within that, I think 5 months, I was able to self correct my health issue. At that time, I had a thyroid issue and I was losing a tremendous amount of weight, had anxiety. It was just so depressing. I just had a baby. So I was going through a lot mentally, physically, and emotionally. And on top of that, other books like Queen of Fua, I was looking at her books and just going back and just in studying. But most importantly, I was really studying the Honorable Elijah Muhammad book, How to Eat to Live. But Dr. Keeley kind of pushed me into doing it. So um, with that backstory, that made me wanted to go into my journey of going ahead and just expressing like, man, like anybody can heal, you just got to put in the work. I did it, you can do it too. So that's what encouraged me to want to get out here and just tell my story. At first I wanted to do a blog because I like writing, I'm a writer. um, but honestly, I'm like, in today's world, nobody's really reading blogs. Like, I know I'm not, but especially with the young generation, like we're like morely on videos and we're watching, clips and stuff. So, my godmom, by the grace of Allah, she kind of put this bubble in my ear, the seed. She dropped the seed in my mind. That's what I'm gonna say. Sorry, I had to let that go by. So she dropped a seed in my mind, and she said, "Hey, do a podcast." I said, "What? A podcast? What are you talking about? I ain't doing no podcast. Like, what?" But as I looked into it, did my research, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just do it. When I say I just did it, and like I didn't know what I was doing, I just did it. But by the grace of Allah, I'm here 2.5 years later, and I've been able to meet and talk to so many beautiful people, been able to even heal just listening to other people's journeys and stories. So it's been a beautiful journey within that. So as I've been processing within this podcast and being able to connect with other people, I mean, I'm like, man, I need to take Healing with Angelica on the road. I need to get out here and physically get out here with the people. So that kind of inspired me to do my first event, which is coming up here July 20th, this Saturday at 6 p.m. here in Dayton, Ohio at Gem City Market. Um, and initially, the the podcast is for anyone, right? But my main target, my main goal is for the women that has been in, trauma, abuse, identity crisis, women like that, because I've been that woman, right? And I'm still healing. That's why it's Healing with Angelica, because we healing together. Okay. So that inspired me to go ahead and like, listen, let's go ahead and just do an event, and let's gather up some young women ages 14 and up, and let's talk about reconnecting with self and God. The main reason as to why I wanted to center the events over reconnecting with self and God is because I'm realizing that, a lot of our women not knowing who they are really missing out on the opportunity to thrive. And that's why even with my title of my event, reconnecting with self and God, how to thrive as a young Black woman, is because we're missing that primary component, which is God. And because we're missing that primary component, it's not allowing us to thrive and be able to be our true self. And our true self, we really are the second self of God. So I'm like, man, um, with me just going on my journey and me seeing how much it has improved my life, and me being able to reconnect with myself and God, I'm able to be able to handle life better. No, I'm not saying that life's not going to be hard and we're not going to go through things. But once you have the tools to be able to understand life and grow through life, it makes life more peaceful. It makes life more better to handle and deal with. So that is the main objective of the event that will be coming up Saturday, is to help our young women connect with self and connect with God, and be able to know and see their value and know who they truly are in the eye of Allah.
Now you know we're gonna have to break the title down, okay? You're right. Once you said the title, you was like, I was gonna be like, we're gonna have to break the title down for me, like word for word, like reconnecting,
Mhm.
reconnecting,
Whew.
reconnecting implies that there's a severing of a connection, and there's a necessity to be able to put the connection back in place.
Mhm.
What are we missing with self? And then what are we further missing with God?
Mhm. Mhm. Ooh, that's a beautiful question. Reconnecting, like, it even makes me think about what healing means to me. Like, healing is to be able to it's resurrecting, being able to actually heal through those negative objectives that we've been 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 cast to have from slavery days. So it goes really, really back. But when I think about reconnecting, there has been a big disconnection with the relationship between God and self. And as I've been able to be on my journey and my journey with Islam and being in the nation of Islam, I realized that, wow, there are so many things that I do not personally know about myself. Who am I? What do I like? And honestly, what is my purpose? When you don't know what your purpose is in life, you kind of go on in life just doing anything. And that's not what God wants you to do. He particularly put you here because he has a designed destination as to what he wants you to be doing, right? So me being able to connect with myself, reconnecting with self is so important because now I know my purpose here in life. A lot of people are living life unpurposely. We got to live life on purpose. Shout out to my sister Naira. That made me think about her. We have to live life on purpose, right? So, being able to reconnect with self is also being able to know your purpose. But how are you going to know your purpose, right? How do you get to that point to knowing your purpose and knowing yourself? You have to reconnect with your creator. You have to reconnect with God. You have to know what it is that He got you down here doing. Like, what am I supposed to be doing here? Right? Like I said, a lie doesn't do things. Just because. Like, he knew who you were before you was in your mother's womb. He knew the plan he had for your life before you even came into this life, right? So because of that, it's so imperative, especially our young women, to know why it's important to have a relationship with God so you can know your purpose, so you can actually live and actually thrive. So yeah.
Now you know I was going to the next word, so you getting ahead of the. You understand thriving. What does thriving look like, and what are some of the causes that you found through your work that has us in a space of inadequacy? So the opposite of thriving is lack. So if we're looking at these things, what are the things that contribute to lack, and what does a picture look like of us thriving righteously?
Wow. Okay. Hopefully I can answer this right. That was a good handful of
I know,
questions.
I know you about to do it. You about to do it.
Okay, so thriving, right? Thriving takes me back to going into you living in your purpose, right? You thrive when you are on in accord with Allah, when you are naturally in alignment to what it is that you are supposed to do in life. You are naturally in alignment with nature because you're naturally being you. So, unfortunately, this world has turned us inside out and we are not acting as we truly should be. You know, we believe that, and well, I guess as you can see, unfortunately, we are living unrighteously and it has become our norm. So we don't think that the things that we are doing is just destructive. And we're not thinking that the things that we are doing is not adding life to our lives. But, it's really not. It's not adding life to our life. It's actually depriving us from actually being able to thrive and live the life that God actually has for us. Right. So when I think about thrive, you're actually living in accord into you living in accordance to your nature. You're actually living your life, doing what it is that God actually has for you to do. And anything other than that is not living. You are actually, and I don't want to sound harsh, but when you really think about it, when you're not thriving, you're not living. You're not growing, you're not expanding. And then when you think about what it looks like actually being happy, just being you, being in nature, doing the things that doesn't require actually having to have money or having these things that we see in this world. You thrive being your natural self. So it's not really too much, especially the woman needs to do. You already thrive being yourself, because guess what? You're the second self of God, right? So being able to understand that we're actually not thriving the way that God wants us to thrive, because we're not in accord to his nature. We're living unrighteously, doing unrighteous things, um, unconsciously, is making us not be able to really thrive. So until we're able to kind of reconstruct and renavigate what it is that we are supposed to be doing, what we should do, not saying that, hey, listen, we it's stressful living in America, right? I mean, it's listen, it's stressful being black, unfortunately, right? But understanding that yes, you're in the world, but you're not a part of the world. You don't have to be a part of the world. So just because you see these things that look normal to do because everyone's doing it doesn't mean that it's okay. But then when you actually looking at the context of life and death, you're actually looking at things that are enabling that concept of life and death. Like death, you're doing things as far as drinking and smoking, but when you're looking at the contents of it, you're drinking poison. You're medicating yourself with drugs. That's not living. You're killing yourself. So when you see our brothers and sisters out here actually looking like they're thriving, not really based off the context of what this world believes is thriving, they're actually killing themselves. So we're gonna go back in to actually really, really touch in deep as to why you're not really thriving, being a part of worldly things, and how we can actually be able to reconnect with ourselves and God to actually understand our life and to actually really thrive. And thrive is for us to be righteous. We are naturally righteous by nature. We naturally know what's right and what's wrong. And anybody knows when you done did something wrong, you got this something in your heart, something in your subconscious, like, oh, I done did something wrong. Oh my God, because you naturally are supposed to be right. You naturally are supposed to do right. So it's us just reconnecting with ourselves so we can get back into alignment with the lie and with the universe.
Y'all heard it say, I'm gonna see if I can answer this. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna try my best, inshallah, to answer this question right here.
I hope
Y'all
I
heard
heard
her,
it right.
and then I heard all of the bombs she dropped and all of the jewels that she said. You know,
Oh,
I love the lessons because the lessons make it very simple, very palatable. When the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, "Feed the babies milk," that's exactly what he gave us.
mm-hmm.
In English lesson number 1 to 36, it says, "What is his own self? What is his own self?
Mm-hmm.
Not who is his own self. That's already discussed. Who he is." But the fallen state that you found him in, what is his own self? Can you see through the muck and the mire of the presentation and mine out the space that is useful? That's why the measurements in regards to what, useful land. Right, but we said, what is his own self? His own self, as you described, is a righteous Muslim. You
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying? Are there any Muslims other than righteous? You like what? Like, if this is his nature, this is her nature, if this is our nature, like, what are we discussing here? You understand what I'm saying? What
Absolutely.
are we talking about? So
Mm-hmm.
the distinction between when one acting other than themselves, this is the criteria, right? And the wonderful he talks about who the 85, 10, and 5% of the poor part of the planet Earth. These distinctions would not be necessary if there wasn't a space where there's a decline.
Mm-hmm.
So, when looking at your own self, what is his own self? A righteous Muslim. I beg your pardon, I never heard. You see what I'm saying? Now I need to know how many there are. You see what I'm saying? So these lessons are designed to build off one another, but more importantly, for us to be able to look at our people and regardless of how they show themselves, how they present themselves to the world, to be able to go through that and see them like underneath the surface. It's like
Yeah.
the disturbed earth. It doesn't look appealing. But the farmer is not dismayed about the condition of the soil underneath the soil. After they begin to break ground, there's fertile soil underneath that.
Mm-hmm.
So the scars and the bruises, they come along with the process, but beneath that, inside of that, when you speak life into life, life begets life. That life that's on the inside begins to come out.
Yeah.
So I love the arduous task in regards to healing, because healing doesn't look good and it doesn't feel good. You understand, when that scar is healing up, when that wound is closing and healing up, it don't feel good at all. It's itchy, it's painful. You understand? And you got to treat it with some care and some time.
Man.
So
Yeah.
this is why them lessons are speaking to that 379 years ago period, telling you about a time like this happened before, and this is the recognition. You see what I'm saying? So enticing folks like we see nowadays, we see 379 years later, folks are still looking for more gold. What about the folks with no gold?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And they don't know what the gold is. So they're looking for the external and not the internal gold. They're not looking within for the gold that's within, what's in their blood, their bloodline that they descend from. You see what I'm saying? Like, and who is their father? All of these things happen. And the beautiful insight with the ability to be able to abstain, there's not a gluttony associated with it. So you can take the time that's necessary, because you as a healer understand a healing process. That's a process, not an event. So it takes time. So being able to reconnect these aspects of self and God in the space that is most needed. 75% of the work is
Oh,
done with who? Right? So
yeah.
then now you're looking at a nation can rise no higher than whom. You understand, like
Yeah.
all of these aspects that are there, you begin to see exactly what and why. And then you get in tune in the day and time of what must be done. So I'm
Yeah.
excited for
Ooh,
you and the work that you're doing as a representative of the work that's being done. It's proof. You are proof. And everyone that you come in contact with and you shine your healing light and your love on become proof that regardless to the dismay and the calamity that's out there, that there is still work being done and there's still work to do. So it's
absolutely.
a beautiful thing right there.
Praise be to
Yeah.
Allah. I love how you broke that down, brother.
Hey, I'll be
Listen,
reading your notes sometime. I'm reading the notes
I
sometime. I'm
know
paying
that's
attention
right.
to what's going on. You understand what I'm saying? So, what can people look forward to, and what do you envision for your event on Saturday out there at the gym market? Besides, I know the gyms is going to be out there. You understand what I'm saying? So, if they're hungry for the gyms at the market, they can come to the market
Yes.
and get fed and filled up with the gyms.
Yeah, so honestly, I'm just, looking forward to connecting with women, connecting with other women that hasn't had the opportunity to be in such a, and I know by the grace of Allah, such a beautiful atmosphere of women and sisters being able to connect and talk with each other and be able to reconnect with God. Like I said, to me, I just think that is so, so necessary for our development as women. And as you brought up before, 75% of the work is with a woman. So we have so much, on our plate that needs to be done. And, what they say, each one teach one. I hope I said it right. But, if I'm able to shine that light and be able to just get somebody in the room, get that one sister in the room to be able to enlighten her, to let her know her value and show her how important she is in the eye of Allah God, then maybe she can find interest in knowing and learning how to reconnect with herself and God. So I'm just looking for a beautiful time, just being able to connect with my sisters and also being able to, I want to say, reestablish that sisterhood because within us being a woman and us having that 75% portion of the work to do, we need each other as sisters. We need each other as we going through this journey. So us being able to come together at Gem City Market to elaborate, to share some experiences, and also being able to connect with different people that may have been on the same journey you on or have been on, I believe it'll be a great healing event.
I'm excited. I'm excited. When you said sisterhood, I went all the way back to the lesson. What's the meaning of MGTG and GCC? You see what I'm saying? Like, what is the meaning?
Hmm.
So that personification of that meaning, you know, you are living in that work. So if we could take a little moment to go back to that process for you, joining those ranks, what was that experience like for you? I know last time we spoke about it, but I remember you was on the Save You Stay High. You know what I'm saying? You was, I don't know if you was walking, you was floating,
Man.
you was gone. You see what I'm saying? So that process of personifying that meaning and the meaning of that sisterhood that you witness, that you have the ability to have on a regular basis. You can pick up your phone, text somebody, DM somebody, says I'm going through some things. You understand what I'm saying? And you get that love space. You see what I'm saying? Because there's a stigma that's out there. Well, I can't be a lot of black women. That's messing and that. You start going through all of those things. So that meaning of MGT and GCC definitely came into play, like to my recollection. So, what has it been like for you being in that fold, seeing opposite?
Oh my gosh, it's been such an amazing journey. And it's amazing for me because back in my I be acting like I'm so old, but I'm not. I'm about to say back in my olden days, uh, when I was younger, um, I found myself not really having trust for women. I found myself just I'd rather hang with the guys, and stuff like that. So, and even as I'm seeing women, in today's world, there's a lot of, I want to say, it's a lot of like riffraff between women, and it's sad because me knowing now that I'm in the nation and stuff, like the amount of work that we have to do, we don't have time to be in battle with each other. Um, so me coming into the nation and being a part of NGT, GCC, allow me to just see how beautiful it is to actually have that trust. Because I think just as Black people in general, we got trust issues, we just, but the thing about women, and I'm probably not speaking for all women, maybe I am, maybe I'm not, but we have this thing where, we'll probably trust a man before we trust our best friend, if it comes to love, like, so me being able to see like, wow, I actually have some sisters that's in the same fold as me. I'm able to call them if I really need it, and also be able to express what I'm going through being on this journey of coming into Islam from being out in the world. So I have sisters that are relatable, sisters that are understandable, sisters that's going to have my back. That's the big thing. I think that was one thing I kind of dealt with as growing up, not feeling like I had that sisterhood to have my back. I'm the oldest sibling, so I didn't have no big sister or any other like older siblings to look at or older role models to look at as far as on the women's side. But just in general with my friends at the time, it was just little things we'll argue about and debate about that really broke our friendship, um, over little things. So it made me not trust women. However, coming into the nation, for one, being able to have the tools, I think that's so important. Us being able to have the tools to be able to actually talk to your sister when something is wrong, actually knowing exactly what to do when you're feeling this type of way. Like it's been occasions where, because we had these teachings, it's been able to help me and to navigate how to properly talk to my sister in a way to where I'm not offending her, into a way that I'm able to express my concerns and us still be cool. That is so beautiful. Like, I just remember just me, honestly, I think we all do this, you know. We just be like, no, we just ain't gonna talk to her. I ain't gonna talk, I just cut her off. But you don't even know what the real problem is, what the real issue is. And most of the time, it's just what we think in our mind could be the issue when it's really not. So it's like me being able to actually understand, like, okay, I got the tools to know exactly what to do when I'm feeling this type of way about my sister. I'm gonna call my sister up in the best of manners and see if we can talk and we can dialogue. And because of that, and because my sister know that's in the nation, you know, my sisters know, like, we got these teachings too. They know what to do. We're able to fix our issues and go on like ain't nothing happened. So that's what MGT and GCC has done for me since coming into the nation and being able to have this sisterhood where I'm able to have trust and being able to trust my sister and know that my sister got my back because we in this together. And at the end of the day, as a whole, we still all have the same mission, right? But we have our different ways of going about it as individuals. So I just love everything about just being a part of MGT and GCC, and also knowing that at the end of the day that, you know, this is also something that even those women that are not in the nation, you know, this is what our sisters in the community needs to know. That if we can learn how to work out our differences and actually learn how to communicate properly and talk to each other like grown women and leave the emotions on the side, we can fix a lot of our issues that we may have with other women, right? So hopefully, inshallah, Allah will expand me in that area so we can get our sisterhood together, that even if it's not in the nation, just in general. So yeah.
How to act at home and abroad
Woo!
is
There you go. There you go. See,
wow.
on point.
Yes, yes. So we got a few minutes left. I want you to circulate this time speaking about the event, who you have there, what people can expect, the takeaways, where to find it one more time, one more call to action to the family that's out there because it's amazing and it's needed.
Yes, yes, yes. So wrap it up again. And oh my gosh, I'm outside, y'all, and it like it's about to go crazy. But anyway, I'm enjoying this breeze. But anyway, let's go back. Healing with Angelica presents Reconnecting with Self and God, How to Thrive as a Young Black Woman. We are going to do this event July 20th, 2024. It will be from 6 to 8 p.m. We will have a sound bowl meditation session. I also have a guest speaker sharing some beautiful things that she does. She's a blogger. She had a beautiful blog that I would like for her to talk about with us as sisters. Also, within that, we will have good food. That's why I'm like, I need y'all to RSVP so I can know, you know, make sure we get all the food so everybody can have something good to eat. And yeah, just expect to have a good time. If you want to RSVP, I advise you to RSVP before the end of today. If that will be promisable. And if you want to know more or want to contact me more about it, just go ahead and follow me on Facebook, Angelica X Muslima, or you can contact me. Yeah, I think that would be the best way. Or you can just text me. That's fine. 937-313-2466 to know, to get more information. And inshallah, hopefully, if it be the grace of Allah, this won't be the last, the only one, or the last event. So yeah, because my goal is to, I want to see how this event goes. And then my goal is to, I really want Healing with Angelica to travel. Like, I want us to actually be traveling to different cities and actually, you know, get on this journey of healing with our young women and young sisters, you know. So yeah.
Final word for the family. Final word.
My final word is I would say self first, then others. Self first, then others. That's been on my mind. That's on my mind today. Because it's like, in order for us to be able to be the best for anyone else in our lives, we got to be the best for ourselves, right? So learn yourself, love yourself, and embrace yourself in the process. And that all comes with starting with self. So self first and others, love yourself, and I love you.
Gift from Allah. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your jewels. Honest to you and your Healing with Angelica community, because they deep, y'all. Okay, I see when it was time to put on the gear, they was deep. Okay, they was deep out there representing. So thank you, and may Allah be pleased with all of the work that you're doing, have done, and will continue to do. By Allah's permission, thank you again one more time, and I would love for you, the guest speaker, and my sister, Natural Onyx, aka Kashai Israel, to come back and give us the little after briefing of the briefing. You understand what I'm saying? Of
That would
the
be
event.
great.
If we could do something great like that in host space for that representation to get the afterthoughts, okay?
Okay, I'm pretty sure we'll be down to do that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Just let me know. When we, after the event, just let me know, brother. I love being on your show. I'm grateful that you gave me this opportunity to even share space on your platform. And I pray Allah God blesses you with success. Like, you've been doing this for a while, and anybody that's following me, I need y'all to go ahead and subscribe to my brother's channel, follow my brother, and go ahead and get that support in. Because at the end of the day, us as content creators, us as podcasters, at the end of the day, we put a lot of work into this. So ain't nothing wrong with, giving a little gratitude here and there. So go ahead and support my brother, okay?
And support my sister the same way. I don't even like you. I don't even know you if you ain't support my sister. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't. Yeah.
Okay, listen.
Yes. All right. So, assalamu alaikum to the believers out there and the laborers, and we're gonna get to it.
Alaikum salam.
All praise the Almighty, all praise the Almighty God. You know. All praise the Almighty, all praise the Almighty God. He say he be where the shooters be. I be where the shooters be. Trenches ain't nothing new to me, that's the best place to recruit for me. Sometimes I move with 20 men, sometimes it's only 2 or 3. He thought I was just talking, pulled up on him, had the fruit with me. I see clout chasing activists, phony politicians, crooked police, word, God is my witness. He said, why it seem like the violence just won't stop, hey, pay attention. The system designed to work this way, crime pays, it's a business. I done seen the truth, turn the man whole life around. He saving lives, he grew, he used to just brag on his body count. If I love you, I'm gonna hold you accountable. My brother's keeper, ain't no time to waste. If it ain't about growth, you could count me out. Look, the people know it's real, the people know it's fake. Love will have you outlast all the phonies and outlast all the snakes. Feds be out here killing us, then making brothers catch the case. That's why we gotta stand on business, brothers, for our future's sake. You know. And we all we got is the Almighty, all praise the one body, one mind, one sound. Together we stand, divided we fall. Yes, sir.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that there is a conspiracy from the highest levels of government to bring the National Guard into the urban cities of America and kill us wholesale. If we do not change our behavior, the scripture says that we will be given our own blood to drink as if it was sweet wine. We must put aside our petty differences, unite, and remember